Set 3 will be played on Fighting Spirit. Spawning in the bottom right-hand position as the red Protoss from SK Telecom T1. His name is Parting, and he has 1 kill.
His opponent spawning as a yellow Protoss on the top corner of the map, always being underestimated, but when it comes to data, when it comes to his game, certainly better than his teammate Flying. His name is Free, playing for WOONGJIN Stars. The score right now is 1-1, with Parting getting a previous kill against Flying on Naro Station.
Indeed. By the way, guys, if you want to follow Parting on Twitter, his ID is at SKT1_Parting. I'm not sure if Free has a Twitter, though.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I wish we could reach out to all the Starcraft players. The ESF players were great about adopting Twitter, but it's been a lot slower from the CUSP scene, unfortunately. And you can, of course, always follow us as well. I'm at Whiplash.
And you can follow me at Supernova Maniac.
And this is Parting's coming of age day. It means he's pretty much 20 in Korean years. That's about 18, maybe 19 around the rest of the world. It's just like basically you're a man now kind of thing. It's like you're considered an adult, quote unquote. And so far, no gas quite yet from Parting here. There he goes. He's taking a 15 gas. So a little bit faster one from his opponent Free, got it at 14, but still not a huge difference really.
Parting sticking to 1 gas again. Usually if a player gets a gas around 15, usually it means a double gas, but you can still go for the 1 gas. It means that you're just going to have a little more minerals and a little less gas.
Looks like WOONGJIN Protoss is there 52 and 34 this season, while the SK Protoss are 52 and 38. So very close ratios here. They have the same amount of wins. The win-loss ratio just slightly better for WOONGJIN. And we finally have a scouting probe moving across the map here from Parting. And it looks like he is going to be scouting towards the bottom at the stage. So, yeah, cybernetic score on the way as well for both players. We have a Zealot on the way from Parting, though, this time around. And no Zealots out quite yet for our WOONGJIN Stars player, Free.
Well, I'm just interested to see what Parting is going to go for this time around. We did see twice in a row, we saw a Twilight Council versus Twilight Council. And we might see a different build come out by these 2 players, you know. Parting can still go for the Stargate play. He could, you know, go back to the Twilight Council and use a DT this time. Or even go for a really fast expansion.
I'm curious to see if they're going to go for the Twilight Council or not. That's the real question here. Because if they do, then that's like the 3rd time in a row that they go for the Twilight Tech. It's like, all right, guys, let's see some variation. Come on, let's go.
Well, Free, for the starter, he does get a double gateway before any tech.
And we do have the Twilight Council on the way from Parting here. Looks like he's very confident in that build. Like I mentioned last game, it's becoming more popular. Hey, there's
there we go.
There's the app in the bottom right-hand corner.
Photopunch.net.
Photo Punch for all your photo punching needs.
I guess I'll try it out during the break.
We're just messing around, guys. Like
now, behind this, Free is getting a Stargate, but Parting his...
Parting, will he go ahead and scout that? No! Looks like he's going to just barely miss that there.
Well, if there's a double gateway out with the double stalkers, then it's kind of risky to get a scouting mothership core inside the base. You try to get inside the deep right corner of the base, and you might get a scouting, but you will lose a mothership core if you do that.
That's true. Already Parting, he's making a proxy pylon towards the top in the center of the map there. And Free is getting aggressive. Look at that, the mothership core moving in when his opponent out of position, killing off a few probes here. He's already gotten up to 2 kills. Free deciding that he wants to get very aggressive here with this pressure. His warp gate is complete already at this point. He's got a probe up here. Parting, his 2 gateways are just complaining. He's forced to pull off probes on the mineral line. He cannot lose any of these stalkers. He has 1 warping in right now. Mothership core can get sniped off potentially there. Time warp does go down, and these stalkers are going to be scared away though. But the problem is that a lot of the a lot of probes were killed from both sides here.
Yeah, well, Parting did get a better trade. He does recall with the mothership core, and now he is well fortified inside the main base. And Parting also has a complete scouting on his opponent.
It's true. He knows everything that's going on here. He knows about the Stargate tech. He's behind 2 probes here, and he is behind in the Stalker count, which is actually a really big deal here. Free moving forward. There is the home field advantage for Parting, but it's not a large advantage. He needs to reinforce with more units. Where are the reinforcements from our SK Telecom player here? We have 1 Stalker warping in. Another Stalker goes down for free. He is now down to 3 Stalkers versus 4 Stalkers, and a Zealot now down to 3 is going to potentially go down to 2. Almost losing 1, but the micro from Parting being very impressive this game, but it's still nail-bitingly close. At the same time, we have a Zealot moving into the main base of Free, and now that Blink has completed, this is going to give Parting a humongous advantage in their engagements here, and the Zealot continuing to get more kills here. There's a... and it's just going to be ignored, it looks like, at this point, as this Zealot tries to get a few more probe kills here, getting a few more. 21 to 24 now. Free still ahead. Even after losing those, I think it's time for Parting to move across the map and get aggressive. That's what he needs to do at this point. Utilize that Blink tech advantage against his opponent.
The Void Rays are coming out, but it's not a critical amount at this point. He's just going to slowly stack up 1 by 1, which means that if Parting has a perfect timing, he could kill his opponent before the second Void Ray, before the third Void Ray comes out.
It's true, and this is when the supply block Free as well. He has a Sentry, though, so that is something that he has available to him. Getting a Robo behind this, interestingly enough. Just 1 Void Ray to help against the Blink Stalker defense. So he's going to try to move and transition into more of a standard game here. The question is, will Parting just go for a lot of Stalkers and try to kill off his opponent here? He's just been pretty much reinforcing with Stalkers at this point. Supplies are very close as well here.
Well, these 2 Stalkers are going to give the information to Parting. He needs to just send 1 up and then blink out.
I think this is the key here. This is going to be the most vulnerable part, timing for Free here. He's going to have to really utilize that force field to the best of his ability here, and he's going to go ahead, take out the probe. That really reduces the reinforcement rate for our Protoss player Parting.
I'm just surprised that he actually didn't make the pylon before pushing up with the probe and the Zealot.
I think that Parting's timing is gone at this point. There's a lot of Zealots warped in here, and yeah. He needs to just get back and expand right now. I think that's what he's about to do as well.
Well, he does get inside the main base.
He gets inside the main base here. This is a big mistake from Free. He should have warped in another unit here. And looks like Parting going to back out. Just going to try to snipe off a few units here. Utilizing that for that Blink Stalker micro. He's got to get out there at this point. Well, actually, no, still being aggressive here. I guess he can stay for a little bit longer. He's got to be very wary of that Mothership Core Cannon, though.
As long as he fights outside the range, but he's going to be okay. But now he sees the Immortal, and the pressure is going to stop. At least he's stabilized in the probe count, but the 2 Zealots are going inside the main base.
Look at this, Parting. He's got
ready.
3 Stalkers completely ready for this, and he's ready in case there's any Oracle harassment as well. So Parting doing a really good job here. He's being very aggressive, but not overcommitting. He's getting this expansion behind this, and the pressure is still on his opponent, as maybe he can pick up a few units here and there. Looks like that's what he's trying to do here.
A little bit too risky, I have to say, at this point. But
sick micro from Parting. That was amazing. Sniping off that 1 Stalker there. Well, Free is currently ahead in supplies, but he does not have an expansion up quite yet. He's a bit ahead in tech as well, I want to point out.
What I really like about Parting's play today is that he knows what he is doing. You know, some players, they try to go for the counter pressure, and they're like, you know, do I actually engage into this? Do I take an expansion? They hesitate a little bit, and that's the reason why they just get overpowered and lose the game. Parting, however, he knew what he was doing. I'm just going to pressure with the Stalkers, scare my opponent, put him into defensive position while taking an expansion on my own.
Exactly, man. Parting just playing this very solidly. That Nexus is going to complete for him. We do have a Nexus on the way for Free. It's about halfway done. He does have access to that Robotech. Already 2 Immortals out, getting an Observer behind this as well. Has that 1 Void Ray, which is a little bit annoying as well, but the positioning from Free here is going to prevent these Stalkers from really doing too much.
Well, he could still try to snipe 1 Immortal and then blink out.
He tries to do some damage there. He's going to have to do that, like, I think 2 or 3 times if he really wants to kill off a unit there. He needs to keep that weak Stalker in the back as well. All right, so Robotics Bay, Forge on the way for Parting. Robotics Bay as well for our WOONGJIN Stars player 3. And more micro here, trying to really just, you know, eat away at these units, utilizing that blink there.
Yeah, and just because because of the blink, he could try to do it as long as possible, as long as he doesn't get force fielded down after the blink.
And look at this, we have double Robo all the way, starting for Parting here. He has an Observer out as well. he should be able to snipe that Observer of Freeze if he can spot it in his main base there. I did see it crawling around.
I think it was barely missed.
We have another Observer for Parting, just going to scout his opponent's base here, not utilizing the Hallucinated Phoenixes as much this game, I've noticed. More continuous harassment from Parting here, using those Stalkers. Looks like he lost one there, I think. Lost one or killed one.
Parting's just trying to do a nice job trying to pick up an Immortal or two. It's not going to happen. It's really unlikely. But, you know, he's actually trying his best, and that's all that matters at this point.
Trying your best?
Well, that's the best he can do to try to keep his opponent inside the main base.
And Parting doing a good job here, just really weakening these units. There's so many guys that are in the red right now. That Sentry has 1 health. To just give you an idea of how many red units there are in this army. This is the Red Army, man. Communism's coming back and for the Protoss Enclave.
And because of the constant pressure from Parting, Free cannot move out on the map. I mean, he has a better unit composition. He has 3 Immortals, a few Sentries mixed in, and a Void Ray to support the main army. But he can't move out because his opponent has Blink, and Free does not have a Blink on his own.
It's true. The Colossus is going to pretty much end this pressure, I feel, though, from Parting. He may be able to get a few shots in here and there. I would actually love to see him blink into the main base. That's exactly what he does. As soon as I mention it now, he's in the main base. This is going to force Free's attention to be divided here, and he may move into the main base with some other Stalkers. He's going to get a lot of kills potentially over there on the probes. Nice multitasking from Parting, though. Free is prepared. Still, though, a lot of probes have been killed by Parting. He got a good amount there. Up to 19 total have been killed by Parting. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but do remember, behind this, Parting wasn't probing up that much, so there's only 4 probe difference between the 2 players.
Nice job sniping off another Stalker there before blinking out. Parting's control this game has been phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And what was really smart is that he didn't throw away all of his Stalkers at the same time. Instead, he threw away one by one, little by little. And that pretty much prevents Free for going for a counterattack right away. Parting making few Stalkers once again because he knows that the Void Ray is in the mix.
And look at this, Parting instantly spots a third. He has a third of his own as well. Parting deciding to move out across the map. The problem is his forces are a bit split up here. That third base is going to go under attack. He's bringing probes there as well. Parting must consolidate his forces right now in order to deal with this. He will be able to kill off that 1 Immortal, but I fear this Nexus is going to go down. At this rate, we have a few good shots coming off from the Colossus here. The Nexus down to 32 health. It does go down.
There we go.
The Stalkers, though, they're grabbing the Colossus from behind, blinking back a little bit. The problem is, though, Free, he's getting completely sandwiched here and is going to lose almost his entire army to these Blink Stalkers. And the Colossus and Zealots constantly chasing away Free's army.
Well, Parting, he should go for it now because he has a better army composition. He took out every single supporting army from Free, and Free only has what? 2 Immortals and 1 Colossus, with 2 Colossus joining at the natural base. He should pick up the Colossus right now and then go for it.
He's got to hightail it out of there. Parting way ahead in the supplies right now. That 1 Immortal.
He's got a recall.
Oh, he gets the Colossus at least. But this 1 lone Colossus here will eventually get picked off by these Stalkers with good micro. I kind of wish we had charge here because this game would have already been over at this point, I feel. More forward blinks going down. That 1 Colossus getting low on health. Is it going to get taken out? Yes. Parting with excellent control takes out that Stalker as well. It looks like he's going to move forward, try to do the attack here for offensive force fields or time warps going down from both sides here. The Colossus count very even. Supplies are in Parting's favor, but it looks like he is forced back for now. He's got those 5 Colossi, but the 2 Immortals are forcing Parting back at this point.
2 Immortals, and the positioning by Free was fantastic. So now he needs to run back home with his Colossus. Seems like 1 might get taken out on the way, but remember, Parting, he could still Chrono Boost out a Colossus back in his main base. Yeah, it's going to get taken out.
So despite that looking so bad for Free, he's actually still like really close in supplies. He has 2 Immortals. The Colossus count is even. How did he manage to do that, man?
He just lost way too much, but the recall saved 1 of the Colossus, remember that? And the positioning was fantastic by Free. He had to...
That is 1 lucky Mothership
1
core
HP.
there. Something to point out here, though. Parting, he's got access to that Archon tech, while Free doesn't yet. And their bases are both pretty much going on at the same time. Despite Parting losing his expansion, things are still looking very even between these players. Parting is grabbing a bit of a supply advantage at this point. And he does have the Archon tech.
Now, both players have up to 6 Colossus now. Free going for the charge, while Parting only replenishing 1 Colossus at the same time.
Indeed. I'd
at a
like
time,
to, I'd like to see a few more proxy pylons from Parting here. His main one is taken out. There he goes. He's taking another one out right now. Is he going to go for an engagement here? He's going to go for it, though. He feels like he's got enough units to tank against his opponent's Colossus here. The Archon's still alive. The Immortals have been taken out here, and it looks like a pretty even trade for both players. Parting moving back here. He still has 2 Archons, one of them not with the main army, though. 7 Colossi on both sides here. The Zealot count the same. The difference, though, is the Archons and a 3rd or 8th Colossus out for Free at this point as well. The reinforcements, though, I don't think Free is prepared to defend his 3rd base here.
Yeah, he's going to have to give up the 3rd base, but we might see the same situation happen for Parting. He needs to be careful. He needs a Mothership Core with the main army right now if he wants to go for the recall.
All right, and it looks like Free getting caught out of position. He's forced the micro back here. Things looking very solid for Parting. Look at this, the pros being taken off the mineral line. A huge mistake for Free, actually, but it will save his skin for now. We need to see those reinforcement units from Parting's main base join his army. He now has 4 Colossi and some Zealots in his main base. These 4 Zealots in the 3rd base of Free. They're going to do a good amount of damage on Parting's side. He's deciding to move back with his army, but look at the supplies right now. 149 to 103 here. Things are looking very good for SK Telecom.
You know, the turning point might have been the probes suiciding into the Colossus because Free, he had more Colossus than his opponent. He had some supporting Zealots. He had the Immortal coming out, and he was well defended against only 5 Colossus from Parting, but he decided to pull all of his probes. I think it was a mistake, to be honest. I think he was trying to rally the probes somewhere else on the map.
I think he was trying to send him to that 3rd base.
Yeah.
Then the attack aim is like, oh crap, well, these are dead.
Well, now he's down in pretty much 17 probes right now. It's not going to matter at this point, but it's going to stack up as the game goes on. Parting has up to 9 Colossus, 3 Immortals, and now he's going to go for the push.
And, you know, he certainly should go for the push right here. He's got the army composition to do it. Everything's looking towards Parting's victory here. He's got a good position as well. Moving in here, Free out of position as well with the majority of his army. Parting pressing through. He's going to part the sea essentially here, taking out Free in the middle of his natural. I can't see Free taking a win here. The spread is just way too good. The positioning key for Parting.
Yeah, he just has better spread this time around compared to the previous push. And another game goes to Parting as SK Telecom T1 leads against their opponent, WOONGJIN Stars 2-1.
So Parting taking out 2 Protosses back to back, looking impressive as he does it, showing his superior knowledge in the game and decision making, micro multitasking. Looks like he has it all there, man. We got to see all of it.
We got to see all of it, and now WOONGJIN Stars, they need to start wondering, do we send out another Protoss player or do we save him until the last and send out a 3rd player?
We could potentially see a rematch between him and Solkey from WCS. It's a possible scenario here. We're going to find out, guys. Currently the score 2-1 with SK Telecom in the lead, thanks to Parting's back-to-back Protoss kills against Flying and Free. We're going to have to find out the next player from WOONGJIN Stars that will be sent out.
Now, do remember that the map is Core Hall Floating Islands, and, you know, Parting this map compared to the other maps in early.
I don't know. I think he's used to it, man.
Well, he's used to it in the practice house, but it's not like, you know, Whirlwind wasn't WCS, Neoplanet S was in WCS, Belshear Vestige wasn't there, but Core Hall Floating Islands wasn't in there, and PvP is slightly tricky, but it's SOS.
So we're having yet another PvP match, guys. We may actually just have PvPs throughout this entire day, or the second match. This is certainly making up for the lack of PvP in the first match.
Like you said, at least 4 PvPs per day.
I guess so. All right, guys, we're going to go into a quick commercial break. When we get back, it's going to be the ace player from WOONGJIN Stars, SOS, against Parting.